And the Oscar goes to... Hello fellow cinephiles. It's that time of year once again, Oscar season. A lot of movies are coming out and are being nominated, and so I just thought I'd do a video on particular movies and actors and stuff that I believe may win and may be nominated this year at the Oscars. Now the Golden Globes have just been announced, so there are a number of Golden Globe nominees as well, and a lot of times the Golden Globes mirror the Oscars, but sometimes the Oscars decide to do something different and choose a different film or nominate something different. I'm just going to sort of run through not every category and every nomination, but just the ones, the main ones, like the acting, the directing, the best picture, and original screenplay and stuff like that. So for best picture, there's quite a number of films nominated for the Golden Globes. Like Black Panther is nominated for the Golden Globes. I'm not sure if it will be for the Oscars, but it could be based upon its subject matter. And they need to make up the numbers depending on how many best pictures they've got. Sometimes they have 8, sometimes they have 10. It all depends on what they have and what they will have to make that up. I think Black Klansman would be nominated because that's one of Spike Lee's best films in a long time, and I think it's a really great film and well made, and it holds up quite well, and I think he'd be nominated for that. I think that The Favourite may be nominated because of it being unique and different, and the director had done his previous films, The Killing of a Sacred Deer and The Lobster, as well as Dogtooth. And he's a very interesting, unique filmmaker, and I think his film The Favourite, which is a period piece, could be nominated. And if it is, you don't quite know if it could win or not. I think it's kind of an interesting year. The Oscars don't tend to like to be predictable and don't like people working out what they're going to do. So they could give it to something really good as A Star Is Born. Like, I think that's a brilliant film. It's my favourite film of the year. It's just well done and well put together, and it's a very, very interesting and well crafted film. And it could definitely win. It's the front runner for winning the Oscar, I think. But the Oscars could go down that path and do the traditional thing, or they could go swerve and do something different and do The Favourite. I think Vice could be nominated. I think Adam McKay's done a really great job here. Christian Bale's fantastic and really has immersed himself in playing Dick Cheney. And I think I think this film would be very interesting. It's a subject matter we know a bit about, but not a lot about, and we get to see behind the scenes of what transpired and how Dick Cheney became who he was. Another film I'm kind of interested in seeing, and whether it'll be nominated for Best Picture or not, is If Beale Street Could Talk. And this is based upon a James Baldwin novel. And it's a film that Barry Jenkins had wanted to do for quite a while and was working on it when he was doing Moonlight. And look, it could be nominated as well, and I'm kind of interested in seeing it. What I'd like to see win is A Star Is Born. I think it's a very well made film, brilliant, and I'd like to see that win Best Picture. But in saying that, I wouldn't be upset if something different, like The Favourite one or Black Klansman or something a bit different, because I think they're all really great films. It'd be very interesting to see. But my top picks would be A Star Is Born and The Favourite. So screenplays, what could be nominated for screenplays? Some of the best, so the Golden Globes have nominated Roma, The Favourite, If Beale Street Could Talk, and Vice and Green Book. So that's they just do that as the screenplays, where the Oscars sort of look at original screenplays and adapted screenplays. So it's kind of interesting to see what would be nominated. I think The Favourite could be nominated for original screenplay, and as well as Vice and Roma, because they could be definitely nominated for that, because Roma is sort of a very popular film at the moment, and it's based upon Corona's life, loosely based on his life, so it could be definitely nominated for that. Adapted screenplay could definitely be A Star Is Born, The Green Book. If Beale Street Could Talk is another one. James Baldwin, who was a very well-known, prolific writer in the 50s and 60s and onwards, and was around during Martin Luther King and Malcolm X's sort of days. And there was a documentary came out recently about him, and that's where I learned about him in his book that was turned into a movie by Barry Jenkins. So there's a number of things that could be nominated here. Black Klansman could be nominated for for adapted screenplay as well. I think that was really well done. But it'll be interesting to see what is nominated and what comes out. Beautiful Boy could be nominated for adapted screenplay as well, because that's based upon a book. And Boy Erased could be another one, based upon a adaptation of a book. So foreign films, I think there's a number of them nominated, such as Girl, Never Look Away, Shoplifters. But I think this will go to Roma, because I think it's a very unique film. It's different. And I think it'll be a very popular film, this sort of thing, because this is sort of the story he's telling. It's shot beautifully in black and white. It's based upon Corona's life. There isn't a clear narrative through it. It's more segments that happen, but it's just crafting this world and this experience and viewing this through the eyes of the people we're seeing in it. Not necessarily being told what we should look at and feel, but being shown that. So I think it could definitely win Best Foreign Film. I really do. So another one is Best Director. I think Bradley Cooper could win this for A Star Is Born, but all bets are sort of off. You don't quite know what could win Best Director. Cuarón could win for Roma as well, which would be interesting to see. Spike Lee, there's a good chance he could win for BlacKkKlansman, because it's a brilliant film. It's one of the best films he's done in a long time, and I think it's the best film he's done since Malcolm X, really. And it's based upon a true story, like Malcolm X is, and an interesting figure, an interesting time, 70s. And I just think he could win, because I think it's a really well-made film, and he's done a really brilliant job, and the best work he's done in a long time. Adam McKay, I no doubt he'll be nominated for Vice. He could win, but it'll be interesting to see how that film transpires. The Big Short I really liked, and I'm interested in seeing this, and hopefully it is quite good, but whether he'll win or not, I'm not quite sure, but I think he'll definitely be nominated. Peter Farley could be nominated for The Green Book as well. We don't quite know what they're going to nominate for, but The Green Book's meant to be a really interesting film. It's the first dramatic thing Peter Farley has done, and the first thing he's done without his brother in a long time. Peter and Bob Farley are well known for There's Something About Mary and Dumb and Dumber and films like that, where this is their first really dramatic piece, and I'm kind of interested to see it. Best Supporting Actor. Well, there's a number of nominations for this. Sam Rockwell's been nominated playing George W. Bush in Vice. Mahershala Ali may be nominated for The Green Book. I think he's done a really great performance here, and I think he's a very solid actor. I've really liked him really ever since Moonlight, but I have seen him in a number of other things as well, and he's a very solid actor, and I look forward to seeing him in True Detective Season 3. I think Timothée Chalamet will be nominated for The Beautiful Boy. I haven't seen that film yet. I have seen a number of scenes from it, and he looks really powerful in it, and it's the best acting I've seen him do so far. And I think he'll be definitely nominated for his performance. I'd like to see Adam Driver nominated for BlacKkKlansman. I thought he was as good as John David Washington, and I really like him as an actor. He's my second favourite actor of all time. I think he's really a brilliant actor, and definitely an actor of this generation. And I just love him in everything he does, and I think he was really solid and fantastic in BlacKkKlansman, and I really do hope he's nominated for it, for Best Supporting, because I think he deserves it. I think another actor that they haven't really talked about and the Golden Globes haven't really nominated is Sam Elliott for A Star Is Born. I thought he was brilliant in it. Some of the best acting he's ever done, and it's given him such a great role here, and the relationship he has with Bradley Cooper's character and Lady Gaga is really fantastic, and I think he should definitely be nominated, because he does such a powerful performance, and a lot of the powerful moments he has are done with no words, just by an expression and a look, and he's so great at it and brilliant, and I really do hope he's nominated. But it'll be interesting to see who else comes out who may be nominated, but they're just some of the ideas that have come out that I think should definitely be nominated, and who's going to win, I'm not quite sure. Sam Rockwell could win for Vice, playing George W. Bush, because I think he looks solid in this role. But I just want to know if it's like a real character or a caricature of that person, so I'm not quite sure. But he should definitely be nominated, because Sam Rockwell is a brilliant actor and has done some really fantastic work over the years, and it wasn't until last year that he was actually awarded Supporting Actor with 3 Billboards. So I thought Supporting Actress. There's a number of actresses up for supporting. Rachel Weisz is up for The Favourite, and from what I've seen of her, she looks quite good in that film, and she's definitely should be nominated. She's a brilliant actress. Whether this will happen or not, Nicole Kidman could be nominated for Boy Erased. I thought she did a really great job, and I think she should be supporting for that role. She was really fantastic in it. Yeah, Regina King, if Beale Street Could Talk, she's nominated for supporting character in that, and she's already won a few awards and other things for that role, and she's nominated for the Golden Globe. I think she could win it this year for Best Supporting Actress, and I think that's brilliant because she's a really good actress and she's been able to do some really great work recently. And look, I think if Beale Street Could Talk is really good, I'm sure she'll be nominated, and I'm pretty positive she's going to win that. Best Actor. There's a slew of Best Actor nominees, I think. One of them, I think, would be Bradley Cooper. Whether they're going to nominate him for director and actor, I'm not 100% sure, but I think he should definitely be nominated. In A Star Is Born, best performance he's given in his whole career, I think, and it's really fantastic what he does in that, and his chemistry with Lady Gaga is brilliant. Willem Dafoe could be nominated, playing Vincent van Gogh in Eternity's Gate. I think Lucas Hedges could be nominated for Boy Erased. I think Rami Malek may be nominated, and he could win. I don't know. It depends on what the Academy thinks, but I think Rami Malek is fantastic here playing Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody. I think he's the best thing about that film, and his performance is amazing. I definitely think he'll be nominated, and there's a good chance he could win. The other nominee I think that may ultimately win it, may pull it out of the bag, is Christian Bale for his portrayal of Dick Cheney. Completely immersed in the role, lost in it. When you see the trailer, you don't see Christian Bale anymore. He's put on weight, his hair's different, he's wearing glasses. His performance is so different to everything else he's done. He really immersed himself in this character. For a caliber of actor like Christian Bale, a man who lost weight for Machinist, put weight on for Batman, lost weight again for a variety of other roles, and now he's put on weight again to play Dick Cheney. And I think he's done a spectacular job. Yes, I've only seen the trailer so far, but it's definitely a film I want to check out, and I'm pretty sure he'll be nominated, and if he is, I think he will win it this year. And probably the last one I'll look at is Best Actress. Now, there's a lot of nominees for this award this year, and there's some really great performances out there, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see who does pull this off and win. Obviously, you've got Lady Gaga, who'll be nominated for A Star Is Born. She's absolutely brilliant here. She's a newcomer to a lot of the acting sort of stuff, and the first time she's really portrayed a character completely different to herself, and she does such a brilliant job, and some great research into the role. She's stripped herself bare, she doesn't have the makeup, and she's just her, who she is, and I think she's brilliant, and she could win it, because there's been a lot of, in previous years, there's been a lot of first-time nominees who have won. A great example of that is Audrey Hepburn for Roman Holiday. That's a good example of a newcomer sort of winning. And there's a variety of other actors and actresses who's come out and who's been nominated for their first film and won. And I think this could be a good chance for her. Rosamund Pike could be nominated as well. She's got a new film coming out called A Private War, which is based on a true story of this journalist who went to war and lost an eye, and a variety of things that happened. And I think she looks really good in it from the trailer. And she's an actress I really liked and been following for a number of years. And I really want to see her in this performance. And I think she'll be nominated for a performance based upon the trailer I've seen so far. And Lady Gaga's only real competition, I think, is Nicole Kidman for the movie Destroyer. Now, look, I'm not a big fan of Nicole Kidman. She's done a few things I haven't minded, but I'm not a huge fan of her. But just seeing the trailer for Destroyer and how she immersed herself in this role and got lost in it, and I haven't seen her lose herself in a role like this since The Hours, where she played Virginia Woolf with a prosthetic nose, and she does such a great job in that film as well. But here she just looks amazing, and I did see some interviews with her where she talked about how she sort of had to stay in character to do that because she couldn't slip in and out of it, and it was such a heavy lot of work that she couldn't just wear the character, she had to be it. And for an actress to put in that much effort and to do that much to create a character like this, I think will be nominated, and she looks really fantastic. I haven't seen it yet, hopefully we do get it, but I think she will be really the competition for Lady Gaga to win. Either one of them could win. I wouldn't be disappointed if either one of them won, but I am rooting more for Lady Gaga to win for Best Actress. Anyway, that's all my thoughts on nominations for the big awards, and we'll see what happens, I guess. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you agree with the list I've come up with and the people I think are going to win? Or do you have different ideas about who's going to win and who's going to be nominated? I'd love to hear what you think. And hopefully the Oscars are quite good. We still haven't got a host. The two choices I would have for hosts would be Dave Chappelle. I think he would be really fantastic hosting it. Brilliant comedian, has done a really great job. And he's sort of come back on the scene, and his performance in, even though it's only small, in A Star Is Born is really great. Other people I would say could host the Oscars. What would they get? Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. They've proven themselves with the Golden Globes that they're fantastic together. They're a really great comical team. They're really talented women, and I'd really love to see them host, and I think they would do a really great job, and Golden Globes is a good example of that. But we'll see what happens. Do you agree with those choices, or do you have different ideas? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video and any other videos on the channel, please hit subscribe down the bottom. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy the movies.